For over a century, archaeologists have puzzled over one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Deep in the caves of southeastern Europe, scattered across dozens of sites, lay thousands of mysterious symbols carved into stone, bone, and clay. These weren't random scratches or primitive art. They were systematic, organized, and purposeful. But for 150 years, they remained completely undecipherable. What if these symbols weren't just primitive markings, but actually represented the world's first writing system, predating Sumerian cuneiform by over 2,000 years? What if everything we thought we knew about the origins of human civilization was wrong? The story begins in 1875, when archaeologist Maria Gimbutas first documented strange symbols at Vinča, a Neolithic site near Belgrade, Serbia. For decades, the academic world dismissed these as random decorative marks, primitive attempts at art by Stone Age peoples. The consensus was clear. True writing began in Mesopotamia around 3200 BC, with the Sumerians marking the dawn of recorded history and complex civilization. But cracks began to appear in this neat narrative. By the 1960s, over 85 sites across the Balkans had yielded similar symbols, all dating between 5500 and 4000 BC. The symbols appeared on pottery, figurines, and ritual objects, suggesting they held deep cultural significance. Yet mainstream archaeology remained skeptical. Without a way to decode them, they were considered mere proto-writing at best. That skepticism would soon be shattered by a revolutionary approach that combined artificial intelligence with ancient wisdom. To understand this breakthrough, we must first grasp what makes writing truly revolutionary. Picture human communication as a vast river flowing through time. For millions of years, our ancestors could only communicate through speech, gestures, and simple images, information that died with the speaker. But true writing is different. It's a technology that captures abstract thoughts, sounds, and ideas in symbols that can be read by anyone who knows the code, even thousands of years later. The challenge with the Vinča symbols was staggering. Unlike Egyptian hieroglyphs, which had the Rosetta Stone to provide translation clues, these symbols existed in complete isolation. No bilingual texts, no known language to match them against, no living tradition to guide interpretation. Previous attempts had failed because archaeologists were looking at the symbols like ancient art, cataloging their shapes and frequencies, but missing their deeper structure. The breakthrough came when Dr. Aleksandar Durman at the University of Zagreb realized something crucial. What if these symbols weren't just decorative, but actually encoded information according to strict grammatical rules? His team employed a revolutionary approach called computational linguistics analysis, the same technology used to decode enemy communications during wartime. They fed every known Vinča symbol into artificial intelligence systems designed to detect hidden patterns in language. The computer didn't need to know what the symbols meant. It just looked for the mathematical signatures that appear whenever humans use systematic communication. The results were breathtaking. The AI detected something that had eluded human researchers for 150 years. The Vinča symbols followed complex grammatical rules. They weren't random. They weren't decorative. They were structured according to the same mathematical principles that govern all human languages. The symbols appeared in predictable sequences, with certain signs consistently appearing at the beginning of inscriptions, others in the middle, and specific terminating symbols at the end. This is the hallmark of true writing, systematic rules that govern how meaning is encoded and decoded. Even more stunning was what came next. When the team compared the Vinča symbol patterns to known ancient scripts, they found remarkable similarities. To Linear A from Minoan Crete, dating to 1800 BC, and even early forms of Proto-Indo-European root words. The implications were staggering. But here's the catch. If these symbols truly represented writing from 5500 BC, they would rewrite everything we know about human civilization. The Vinča culture would have developed writing 2300 years before the Sumerians, in the mountains of southeastern Europe rather than the fertile river valleys of Mesopotamia. The evidence began mounting from multiple directions. Archaeological analysis of Vinča sites revealed a sophisticated civilization that had been hiding in plain sight. These weren't primitive farmers scratching random marks on pottery. They were metallurgists who smelted copper 1,000 years before anyone else, urban planners who built organized settlements with streets and districts, and artists who created remarkably sophisticated figurines and ceramics. Their society showed clear signs of social stratification, specialized crafts, and long-distance trade networks stretching from the Black Sea to the Mediterranean. In other words, all the prerequisites for writing were already in place. The linguistic analysis revealed even more secrets. Dr. Derman's team identified approximately 700 distinct Vinca symbols, far more than needed for simple pictographs, but consistent with logographic writing systems like early Chinese or Mayan scripts. Certain symbols appeared to function as determinatives, markers that clarified the meaning of other symbols, exactly like in Egyptian hieroglyphs. The breakthrough came when they applied frequency analysis to the longest inscriptions. The most common symbols appeared in patterns that matched the statistical distribution of grammatical particles in Indo-European languages, words like the and in and of that appear frequently in any extended text. One particularly remarkable inscription, found on a ritual vessel from Tartaria, Romania, contained 26 symbols arranged in 3 lines. The AI analysis suggested this followed a subject-verb-object grammatical structure, with what appeared to be a person's name, an action, and an offering to a deity. But the most compelling evidence came from an unexpected source: genetics. Recent DNA studies of Neolithic European populations revealed that the Vinca culture represented a distinct genetic lineage that contributed significantly to later European populations. These weren't isolated primitives. They were the ancestors of the people who would eventually spread Indo-European languages across the entire continent. The implications are revolutionary. If the Vinca symbols truly represent writing, it means that literacy didn't emerge once in Mesopotamia and spread outward. Instead, it developed independently in multiple locations, with Europe potentially leading the way. This discovery challenges our fundamental assumptions about human progress. We've long believed that complex civilization required specific conditions: river valleys, irrigation agriculture, dense urban populations. But the Vinca culture developed sophisticated technologies and possibly writing in the relatively sparse populations of mountainous southeastern Europe. The resistance to this theory reveals something profound about how we construct historical narratives. For centuries, Western archaeology has assumed that civilization flowed from east to west, from the cradle of civilization in the Middle East to primitive Europe. The idea that Europeans might have developed writing before Mesopotamians challenges deeply held assumptions about cultural superiority and historical progress. This discovery transforms our understanding of human civilization itself. It suggests that our ancestors were far more innovative and interconnected than we ever imagined. The ability to encode abstract thought in permanent symbols may have emerged not once, but multiple times across different cultures, representing one of humanity's greatest intellectual leaps. The story of the Vinca symbols reminds us that history is never truly settled. Every archaeological dig, every new analytical technique, every fresh perspective has the potential to overturn centuries of accepted wisdom. The past is not a fixed story, but a living mystery that continues to reveal its secrets to those bold enough to question what we think we know. As researchers continue to decode these ancient messages, we may finally hear the voices of our European ancestors, speaking across 7,000 years, telling us stories we never knew existed about the true origins of human civilization. Thanks for watching. If you found this story fascinating, consider giving us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more discoveries that continue to reshape our understanding of the ancient world. Let us know in the comments, what do you think about the possibility that writing emerged in Europe before Mesopotamia? Could there be other lost civilizations hiding in plain sight? Until next time, keep questioning everything we think we know about the past.